Yo, what's going on, guys? Hegster TCG, the channel that brings you guys competitive Pokemon content, here with another deck profile. We're back on PTCGO. It's been a while, but we're here doing another deck profile on an expanded deck with the Limitless Online series. Day 1 finishing up today, and day 2 will be probably the time this video comes out. I wanted to go over one of the coolest decks to come out, one that I piloted myself, a closer list to this. But this is pretty much the list, I think, one card off on what Grant Manley is playing, which is this SNORLAX Lock Deck, which we're going to get into here, obviously revolving around the block Snorlax that prevents your opponent's active Pokemon from retreating. And the big difference to note is in Expanded, there are a lot less cards like Switch, Mal, and Lana that are more prevalent, as Floatstone is usually a more consistent option. So the reason that Snorlax is so good is those support Pokemon like Dene and Crobat can attack. So if they get locked in the active with block, Guzma cannot be used if Snorlax is the only Pokemon. So you can just go ahead and do that and lock the things in the active here. Other things to note on the line of Pokemon here. One Bunnelby is the best way we can bring back cards, but also Burrow is a really good attack to put cards from the top of your opponent's deck in the discard pile to help you get to your win condition, that being milling as fast as possible here. Next card we have is Aegislash-EX, Mighty Shield in here to prevent anything from special energies hitting this. And this card is just really solid. It helps win a Mad Party, and a whole bunch of other matchups become pretty much free with this card. Lucario Melmetal is in here. Full Metal Wall is a great disruption tactic, and it also prevents damage, so this thing becomes a lot more bulky, and you can just AZ it later on. And Zacian V is a great way to draw cards. This is actually a deck that plays no Tropical Beach, so this is a great way for you to draw cards. And instead of having to use Beach as your stadium, you can use something more disruptive like Power Plant, which we'll get into. And then one Giraffe with Get Lost to put cards from your opponent's discard pile in the Lost Zone. So this is great against stuff like Mewtwo and Mew. There's honestly a whole bunch of stuff this thing can be really solid against. So that is one thing to note as well. And that's it for Pokemon. We're going to go into the item cards played in this deck. 2 copies of Captivating Pokepuff. You really want to get those Dedenes and Crobats into play, so Captivating Pokepuff is a great way. Your opponent reveals his hand, you put any number of basic Pokemon you find there onto their bench, so this is great at making sure you can get down those Dedenes. And we also have Target Whistle here, which puts basics from discard pile onto their bench, so it's a little bit easier to play around Target Whistle, which is why we play a higher amount of Pokepuff in the deck. One Computer Search is just a great staple and Expanded to go ahead and get yourself the cards you need out of your deck. 3 Counter Catcher, obviously we are trying to get things in the active, and Counter Catcher is a great card as we are not taking prizes in this deck, so it's honestly awesome that we get free Gust as long as our opponent has taken a prize card. Field Blower is good to get rid of stuff like Garbodors, Floatstones, and just other stadiums and stuff in play. It's just good to have Blower in this format. And we play 4 Lily's Doll and 3 Robosubs, so we have 7 Pokemon in this deck that will not give up prize cards, which allows us to set up our board and get ready and prepare for our Snorlax to get the lock on. 1 Nest Ball to find basic Pokemon here, just a good search. It's just consistency in the deck. 1 Ordinary Rod. This deck does play basic energy, so Ordinary Rod can get back more cards into the deck, hence why we're playing this over Stretcher. I think this could be a Stretcher. I've been testing it a little bit. I think both are good in their own merit. So, and then we already talked about Whistle. 4 copies of VS Seeker to run things out. Obviously, another great staple in Expanded. And we just played 2 Power Plant as our stadium to shut down the EX and GX abilities. To slow our opponent down a little bit more. Honest supporters here in alphabetical order. 1 AZ to pick things up. This list plays -1 Enhanced Hammer, +1 Bellaba from Grant Manley's list. And the reason is this is in here for specific matchups where your opponent fills out their bench really quickly and then you can't lock anything. So against Dark Box, I played this in my list and I was able to take a game just by going Bellaba to discard and then Pokepuffing at the Dene and then doing the whole Snorlax lock. And then you have 1 copy of Faba. Faba is great at discarding special energies and tool cards, as well as stadiums too, but we're mainly using that to get rid of special energy. 1 Gladion. We hate having things prized, so Gladion is great to get those things out of the prizes. 2 copies of Guzma. Gust is important again, so we want Guzma as an option to bring things up. 2 Lusamine, this card was recently unbanned, so we're allowed to utilize this to loop itself, to loop things like Team Flare Gun and Team Rocket's Handiwork to get out of here. For N is a great disruption tool. It's also just draw to get yourself in a doll. In late game, you can end your opponent down really low while you build up your pieces to get them here. I'm still unsure about N in this deck, but for now, I think the card is pretty solid, so I'm keeping it in here. For now, 1 Ranger item lock is very annoying to deal with, so we want to have Ranger to deal with item lock. And then 2 Juniper to draw through our deck. 4 Steven's Resolve. We are a stall deck. We're usually passing, so Steven's is pretty much a glorified pass, as we can find any 3 cards out of our deck and put them into our hand. And then we have 1 Team Flare Grunt for more energy disruption, and a Team Rocket's Handiwork to mill, as well as Bellabo. We have Team Rocket's Handiwork, and then we play 4 Capture Energy to try to get turn 1 Zacian consistently. We can also obviously utilize the Bunnelby and the Giraffe Rigs attack with this as well. 1 Double Colorless Energy, which is perfect for that attack cost on Lucario and Melmetal, and then 2 Fire Energy just for more basic energy in the deck. You can also just have that to get Ordinary Rotted back in. And the reason we are playing Fire in this deck is because you can utilize Heat Factory to draw more cards and stuff like Giant Hearth as well to search it out. That's pretty much going to do it for the deck profile itself. I'm going to quickly just go over how this deck works. So pretty much you want to, again, get Snorlax in the active with no other Pokemon, and then you just want to play Counter Catcher onto a Dedenne and Crobat. If they have no way to switch out of the active via like a switch or Malilana or AZ, then you pretty much just win the game, and that's kind of what this deck goes for. So this is a little bit of a quicker video, but I think this deck is really cool. You don't need beaches to play stall like this. It seems pretty affordable. You can try it out, and let me guys know what you thought about this. Thanks again for watching. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you guys are subscribed. Turn on the notifications and comment down below if you want to see any other expanded decks. I'm happy to go over this. And yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Have yourselves a nice one, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.